sleep has taken you once again. However, now is the time to rise, for the hounds have your scent.
I wonder if people with big penises can knock themselves out by having erections. So, hey my comrades, it's been a while. It has. So as some of my consistent and trusty viewers might have noticed, this video should, according to the last update video, technically be on my other channel. But I've decided to reverse that decision because I just want to throw everything on the same channel because I'm such a consistent and trustworthy YouTuber. But seriously, I'm just gonna put everything I want on this channel, seeing as I kind of already broke the only gaming or not gaming. Basically, it's got no boundaries anymore. Besides, I would like to thank, I don't know who it is, everybody really, for me gaining subscribers even though I wasn't uploading at all. I think most of it came from the Gorn killing video I did a little while ago. Whatever it was, I'm very grateful for it, and I'm ever closer to 150 than I've ever been before for some reason, so thank you very much for that, I like that. Anyways, on with the question at hand. So, as a disclaimer, I did a bunch of the research for this video quite a while ago. And so some of the information is not really used. I'll be using most of my sources, I'll be putting them in the bottom of the video, of the description, so you can read up whatever you want. And as a disclaimer, as I've already seen, penis, just so we have it over with. Penis. But don't worry, if I make any mistakes, I'll make sure to put the blame on something else than me. As you might have realized, people with penises, at some points in their life, well, most of the time, get erections with said penises. So, at some point I was just pondering and thinking, and wondering, do they ever feel adverse effects because the blood leaves the rest of their body? You know, when it's in the penis, it's not in your head, for example. So the main question of the video was posed to me. Could you knock yourself out with an erection if you have a penis that's big enough? As an example, we'll need to calculate the amount of blood that is roughly inside of the world's largest penis. For that we need average length with the supplementary blood volume, and then the length of Mr. Jonah Falcon, which is currently the, I guess the owner of the world's largest penis. And I actually don't have to write this down because that's what you're looking at right here. 34.29 centimeters or 13.5 inches. 5 foot 12 inches, ja.
5 foot 12 inches is 6.
Ja, maar dus dan inches werkt gewoon met 0.5. Fun fact, this dude actually, one of his most famous happenings ever, is that he got frisked at an airport because they thought he had a weapon on him. The data I'll be working with is very trustworthy because I got it from many different sites posting the same thing, just like BuzzFeed. Perfect. Anyway, so the average length and blood volume we're going to be working with is, the length has a bit of a, I'll just write it down. It's from 5 to 6.5 inches, and for purposes of our testing, we'll be assuming that 5 is what the blood volume of 130 corresponds to. because, and this is very important, whoop whoop, this is a warning alert for all you scientists out here. The mathematics I'll be doing in the next section is not only unfair and biased, but it's also low-key just wrong, because I'll be assuming that the lengths and the blood volumes are in a linear fashion connected to each other, which I'm assuming they aren't. And you should in no way see this as a real, I suppose, mathematical proof of how much blood is in Mr. Falcon's body part. See this as like an approximation via very, very bad and biased mathematics. So like I said, we'll be using the most favorable thing for our calculation to make sure that Jonah has the most amount of chance to just pass out. So these numbers together, to get a volume for Falcon's thing, we need this calculation right here, which gives us 351. Not bad. We have our crudely obtained amount of blood that should be in Mr. Falcon's penis when erect. So we're going to look at how much you kind of need to lose before you go dark.
Going dark.
Something that would equal about the amount that you lose at a blood donation is about 8% of your total amount of blood. Of course this varies, so we'll see in a moment what this means. For 14% you'll be experiencing general discomfort. The real bad stuff starts at about 20. I mean 14 is like a runner-up, but really 20, you start feeling the fatigue, the general confusion, dizziness. It's like you're just not 100% functioning, because obviously 20% of your your oil is gone. So that's when you're about to go in a hemorrhagic shock. Now, you need about 30%, some sources, it gave us a margin of 30 to 40%, but of course we're trying to pass this dude the hell out, so we're going for 30%, and about 30% of your body weight you'll go down like those dudes you see in street fight videos. We're going to try and take the average amount of blood that an adult human being has now, which scientists, please excuse me for the atrocities I have committed, because I will commit this one again. Obviously 4.5 liters is, well, obviously, most likely is not the amount that Jonah Falcon has flowing through his body, but that's what we're going to take anyway, because it's the lower end and it allows us to knock him out. For the moment of truth, how much is 30% of 4.5 liters in milliliters? This much. It's this much. For everybody who's ever finished preschool, which I hope you have, this is more than this, which is 1,350 is less than 350. I only noticed this because I was looking in the screen there. For everyone who has been to preschool, which I hope most of you have, otherwise why are you looking at a video about like penises and stuff? 350 is definitely less than the same number plus 1,000, right? I mean, that makes sense. So it seems that sadly our main goal of passing out Jonah Falcon by virtue of just giving him an erection and having like the worst luck ever isn't gonna work. With all our numbers together, I've done the math quickly to give you a swift answer of what we can and can't do with the amount of blood we have. Now it's looking rather bleak because our main goal, what we try to do, doesn't work. We don't have enough blood loss for it. Now our secondary one, which was just a general hemorrhaging, confusion and just feeling terrible, actually sort of going into shock, also doesn't work. again, we're short by quite a bit. Now for the part where the general symptoms start, sadly, also no. 14% is way too much for us. And as a finishing touch, the one blood donation, well, we're missing. Again, we're short by 9 single milliliters. So that means that if somebody here in this earth were to have just a slightly larger penis than Jonah Falcon, and it was also detachable, wouldn't hurt, and be very easy to fill it with blood, this would be the man who could give the easiest and most painless blood donations ever. However, I haven't seen a detachable penis yet. Have you? And thus, it seems like we haven't been able to hit our main targets. Very sadly. Although the donation one is quite close enough, so I'll say his penis having an erection is about the same as him donating blood, except he gets it back this time. I don't think they do that with donations. But we have all this lovely data on our hands, averages and stupid stuff. So I don't want to go yet. I want to do some other things that are completely useless. Why don't you come with me? For passing out from an erection, we need about, like I said, 1,350 milliliters in a single erection. So, seeing as our 13.5 thing doesn't handle that, apparently, how long would it need to be, assuming, again, linear, for it to pass you out? Well, that would be 52 inches. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. For reference, the longest penis ever measured was on a blue whale who had a legendary size of 8 feet, which is about 96 inches. Now, we're not very close to that, but we do have some horses and rhinos, apparently, that get close to 60. So, while it might be a very high-end human penis, or I wouldn't really say high-end, that's more like not just borderline handicap, that's a handicap. But in the horse world, you'd consider it like a low-end penis, or as I like to call it, donkey dick. Also, using some hastily applied mathematics and generalizations again, we figured out that this penis would weigh about like 10 pounds, which according to, just a moment, UOFM Health blogs is the size or the weight of one large watermelon. And it would also take up like 75% of your body, which is an interesting thing to imagine, but please don't. Please. Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, this is slightly misleading. You see, I'm trying to calculate what or how small a person would have to be able to pass out from carrying Jonah's penis. So instead of making the penis larger, we're taking the same penis and shrinking the person. So, doing some simple calculations, assuming a person is actually, the average length of a person is 69.7 inches, which is centimeters, that would be somewhere around here. I just kind of cheated and assumed that would be the size that Jonah starts with, which is most likely not true, it's an average. But, and then we're going to apply this to the smallest person known to man. The smallest person known to man actually died a little while ago. May he rest in peace. Some Nepalese dude who was 54.6 centimeters tall. It's not very long. So right now we're going to calculate how big, or rather small, someone would have to be passing out from the erections of Jonah's penis, which sounds like a very, very, very cruel type of torture. The values we come up with are 18 and 14.5 inches, because, you know, inches is easier, and 21.5 inches for the size of the person. So as you can see again, 21.5 is taller than he would need to be. So if we were to take the smallest person of the world and give him the biggest penis in the world, he would very sadly not pass out from the blood flow. You could say he fell short, or in this case, tall. Welcome to the credits, by the way. Some interesting things I noted while researching this subject. When you look at information for animal penises, the horse penis has a scary amount of information, which means somebody took a long time and a long hard look at a very... Just don't look at horse dick, please. Also, interestingly enough, something called phallophobia is a thing, which means people get a fight or flight response from looking at somebody's bulge.